got nothing to try and prove. I help you find the truth before my ICU. In the ICU, I don't preach in a shiny suit. I walk in faith till my spine is drooped like I'm 92. My doctrine is sound like Titus 2. Today I want to share some things that I've been experimenting with to get my hip-hop vocals to sit on top of the beat in a mix. And I'm going to share with you 4 methods that have been working for me, and I'm sure that if you implement them, they will work for you as well. And if you stick around to the end, I have another technique to share with you just in case you still need to get the beat out of the way of the vocal even more. So the first technique that I use is serial compression. This is simply just 2 compressors in serial, one into the other. For this, I've been using the CLA 76 blackface compressor followed by the CLA 2A, and I've been using that for a while now. No matter what other processing that I add to the vocal, I'm always using at least 2 compressors, but I'm using them methodically for a specific purpose. The CLA 76, it works great because it has a super fast attack time, enabling me to catch the transients or the initial vocal peaks, and this is one of the things that this compressor is actually known for. Now, I'm using a blackface version of the CLA 76 because the blue stripe, it tends to have more mid-range presence, which I don't think I need for my vocal, because recording with this Shure SM7B, honestly, the mid-range is already super prominent enough. With my mid-range vocal tone, I don't need any more added energy in that range. Now I've got the attack fully down at 7, so the fastest response, and the release is about 6 for a quick recovery. This means that the compressor is clamping down on the peaks as fast as possible, and the fast release is the compressor letting go quickly before the next transient crosses the threshold. So the goal here is just trying to reduce the peaks by about 3 to 5 dB, give or take. And I don't want the compressor holding on and compressing longer than it needs to. That's why I use a fast release. So the peak control here is the goal. Then I feed that into a CLA 2A for a more musical, smoother compression. This one here reacts slower, which helps to even out the overall dynamics, and it adds a nice little bit of warmth or thickness to the vocal. Here though, I'm aiming for about 7 to 10 dB of gain reduction, which still might not be enough. It all depends on the vocal, because if the vocal is super dynamic, and you're looking for like a squashed vocal sound, you have to really clamp down on those dynamics. But that also basically means that you're going to bring up whatever sounds nasty in the mic and the room as well. So with this mic, it has a rough top end and a lot of mid-range issues, and my room is less than ideal for a dry sound. So yeah, it can get kind of messy, but together with these 2 settings, these 2 compressors really help to control the vocal without making it sound so squashed. I don't got nothing to try and prove. I help you find the truth before my ICU. In the ICU, I don't preach in a shiny suit. I walk in faith till my spine is drooped like I'm 92. My doctrine is sound like Titus 2. Because I got you woodwind like a flute, but instead you pick a loco and bite the fruit. Then Satan ties the noose. He's eyeing you, the eye of Horus. My God will ride a horse and split the sky with force, so he's the only one I salute. And if you're getting any value from this video so far, hit that like button, as this helps the video grow and get shown to more people, which really helps this channel out. So thank you for that. Moving on, we have 3 more techniques. Next up is saturation. I've been using either the Fab Filter Saturn or the Magma BB tubes from Waves. This plugin adds a subtle harmonic distortion that makes the vocal sound fuller and more present. This really lifts the vocal and gives you kind of more of like a finished sound, because it's adding harmonics and weight and presence and just some nice character. You do get a little bit of a volume bump though, so you can reduce the output a bit if you want to, gain match the input level, or you could just vibe out and enjoy the extra 2 dB that it adds. The cool thing with this plugin though is you can use a combination of even and odd ordered harmonics. And I did a tutorial with this very plugin on drums, and the results were mind-blowing. So double check that out after this video. Link is in the description. And keep in mind, you can definitely add way too much saturation, which will create some audible distortion on the vocal. So subtlety here, I think, is key. But you can drive the tubes, then adjust the wet-dry mix to parallel process the signal to get a blend of the unprocessed and the processed signal, so that can work as well. Let's give it a listen. I don't got nothing to try and prove. I help you find the truth before my ICU. In the ICU, I don't preach in a shiny suit. I walk in faith till my spine is drooped like I'm 92. My doctrine is sound like Titus 2. Because of God you would win like a flute, but instead you pick a low, go and bite the fruit. Then Satan ties the noose. He's eyeing you, the eye of Horus. My God will ride a horse and split the sky with force, so he's the only one I salute. Technique number 3 is parallel compression. This is another technique that I've been using on every mix. The idea here is to blend a heavily processed version of the vocal with the original track. So the intent is to add density and average energy. So you're increasing the perceived volume by blending this like super squashed signal with the original. Now you don't have to squash the vocal on the parallel track, because super squashed also means bringing out that super nasty stuff with a bad quality vocal. So you can compress modestly and still blend that to taste with the original. And all I did was use the same serial compression that I used on the original, just a higher ratio and way more gain reduction. I don't got nothing to try and prove. I help you find the truth before my ICU. In the ICU, I don't preach in a shiny suit. I walk in faith till my spine is drooped like I'm 92. My doctrine is sound like Titus 2. Because of God you would win like a flute, but instead you pick a low, go and bite the fruit. Then Satan ties the noose. He's eyeing you, the eye of Horus. My God will ride a horse and split the sky with force, so he's the only one I salute. The fourth technique that I use is EQ carving. This step here is super crucial for making space for the vocal in the mix. It suppresses certain frequencies that are clashing with the vocal, usually in the mid-range. And a simple plugin that I use for this technique is Track Spacer. I put Track Spacer on whatever track that I want to dip out of the way of the vocal. I send the vocal to the sidechain input of Track Spacer, so when the vocal plays, it triggers the Track Spacer to start reducing the specific frequency range where the masking occurs. Or you could select the range that you want the reduction to happen in. Let's give a listen here to what Track Spacer is able to do. I don't got nothing to try and prove. I help you find the truth before my ICU. In the ICU, I don't preach in a shiny suit. I walk in faith till my spine is drooped like I'm 92. My doctrine is sound like Titus 2. Because of God you would win like a flute, but instead you pick a low, go and bite the fruit. Then Satan ties the noose. He's eyeing you, the eye of Horus. My God will ride a horse and split the sky with force, so he's the only one I salute. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I do have one more technique for you, which is spatial processing. Now it could be panning or stereo widening, whatever gets the instruments in the beat out of the way of the vocal in the center. What I like to do is use the Haas effect. The best version of this effect that I've ever heard is the one that maintains the center image when the left and right channels play back in mono. This is the Isotope Ozone Imager. Listen to how wide this gets. I don't got nothing to try and prove. I help you find the truth before my ICU. In the ICU, I don't preach in a shiny suit. I walk in faith till my spine is drooped like I'm 92. My doctrine is sound like Titus 2. Because of God you would win like a flute, but instead you pick a low, go and bite the fruit. Then Satan ties the noose. He's eyeing you, the eye of Horus. My God will ride a horse and split the sky with force, so he's the only one I salute. I don't got nothing to try and prove. I help you find the truth before my ICU. In the ICU, I don't preach in a shiny suit. I walk in faith till my spine is drooped like I'm 92. My doctrine is sound like Titus 2. So there you have it, 5 techniques that are sure to get your vocal sitting above the beat, whether it's a 2-track or you have the full track outs. This is how it's done. Give it a try and let me know if it was effective for you. Now, you can use whatever plugins that you have in your DAW to accomplish these techniques, but if you're in the market for some new plugins and are convinced the ones demoed here in this video are the ones that you need, click the link in my description, because using these links helps this channel out, giving me a small commission at no extra cost to you. So again, if you find value in this content and you want to support, using those links as well as liking this video is super helpful for me to continue making content for you. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon so that you never miss an upload. And if you rap and need beats, daxhammer.com is the place to go. That's my beat store. Super inexpensive leases available for you. daxhammer.com. Link for that is in the description as well. And until the next video, my name is Dax Hammer. May God bless you. Peace.